General Reed, as your current administration continues to try and fulfill its promise to find and address the waste, fraud, and abuse within the federal government, and the American taxpayers, needing and deserving that, we have this robust and functional DOD, what requires DOD to try and finally pass an audit, which we know has failed on 4 different occasions. What are you doing at Transcom to ensure that your command can pass an audit?
Audit is very important to us. First of all, I'd like to outline the fact that we are committed to it, and we are looking at all of the challenges that we face. First and foremost, we have a plethora of systems that deal specifically with transportation, and then we have a separate set of systems that deal with finance. And those legacy systems, most of which we don't own or control, were never designed to talk to each other. There are a number of systems that reside here in the U.S. and then also some systems that reside abroad. As we trace the mission thread in terms of what we need to get after to make sure that the systems work to get the efficiencies, we have to trace all of the transportation and finance systems that support transportation here on the surface in the U.S. and then strategically outside the U.S. via air and by sea lift. And then once it gets abroad, back on the surface again with someone else. So we're talking on the order of hundreds of systems and thousands of stakeholders that have redundancy and that we need to join together. Fortunately, we have great support to get an enterprise resource planning system that is actually commercially off the shelf, not anything that we're going to design to help us with that. It's not just an IT system. There's also a professional, educational, and cultural change that we're pursuing as well, and also to get help in actually changing the behavior of how we work this system, how we work the processes, and how we eventually merge these two to get to the point where we have a single source of information that we can work with and finally be able to track the data to get to a clean audit. We are working incredibly hard to meet the deadline, and we are leaving no stone unturned for that. We still have a ways to go, acknowledge that, but it's mine to fix.
I appreciate that. Look, this has been one of the things that you're familiar with the United States digital system, which also had the very similar problem, which is that it didn't have the interoperability between departments, agencies, and bureaus to be able to feed the necessary information to ensure oversight, to ensure programmatic overview, and look at the overall systems and its efficiencies. It almost kind of sounds like what you're saying is a Doge-like system that has the interoperability and the capabilities to be able to continue to look at things from a programmatic perspective and then collate all of this data analysis and data mine to be able to grab that for efficiencies would be something of potential value, correct?
That's correct.
I really appreciate that. General Reed, can Transcom offer anything to the rest of the department to assist in this effort, do you think?
Actually, the rest of the department is involved in this as well, and we are depending on them to help us with their systems. We will be the lagging indicator in that, if you will, so the healthier they get, the healthier we'll get, but as we work this system, we'll all get there faster together.
Excellent. And in my last minute remaining, General Reed, in your testimony, you note the challenges associated with sea lift capabilities in Indo-Pacific region. This is obviously very important to all of us, but especially my colleague, Ms. Takuda. Given that this is not a single facet issue or simply a funding problem, please elaborate on how Transcom may implement a more robust maritime presence.
First and foremost is through the exercise program. And so as that theater commander exercises his forces and invites the rest of us to